9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Taking the temperature of the compost pile.
18, 19,
The pitchfork.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We were counting.
Wait, did you say 18? I didn't hear anybody say 18. I didn't hear it. All right, just touch it for temperature.
Ooh.
It's much warmer.
Much warmer. This pile probably, if we go in deep enough, it's probably at least 150, 160 degrees. The hottest temperature you guys will probably encounter on an average day would be coming out of your hot water tap at home, and that shouldn't be any hotter than 120 degrees, and it's probably less than 120 degrees, and most people can't hold their hand under that. So this stuff, you can actually, you can almost cook in it.
And why? Why does it get so hot?
Because the microorganisms and all the bacteria that are in there are actually physically breaking apart the molecular connections of the foodstuffs, and as they do that action, it creates heat. Just like that. Just like
You could
your
see
hands
it.
together
You could
creates heat.
see the heat coming off it. Very.
Yeah, and the thing about it is this is not even, I mean, you can see the steam coming off of it. When it gets really hot, if we were to dig a foot into it, it would look like the thing was on fire because the steam would come rolling out of it. I used to work at the compost facility, and whenever I had to turn their compost, I'd have to turn it in increments because the amount of steam coming out was just so incredible that I actually had to stop because I couldn't see past the tractor.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
when compost smells bad, it's a good sign that it doesn't have much oxygen in it. It's anaerobic. When compost smells good, it's aerobic. So,
Which one's better?
well, you know, when compost is completely finished, it doesn't matter. While it's being made, the anaerobic compost is nasty. I mean, it's a smell. It stinks like rotten grass. You know, you can smell it. And so it's for pleasantness, aerobic compost is better.
Which one's faster?
It's almost a toss-up because if you can keep the pile biologically active, the heat and such is what helps to break it down quickly. So, and to get the heat, you want the thermophilic microorganisms, and those are the ones that break down the compost the quickest, and those usually reside at temperatures of around 150 degrees. So if you can get your compost pile hot fast, it'll decompose quickly. But if you have worms in the compost and the compost pile is cool, the worms will also consume the food waste at almost the same rate. And if you have a compost pile that's hot and has worms, then you have a mixture of both good worlds, because the worms will take care of the cool areas and consume that, and the hot areas will be consumed by the thermophilic microorganisms. And you can get my picture, right?
It's a video. So what do you guys do with this compost next? It goes into the bottom with the chickens, and you're gonna, if you ever get a dome?
We actually give fresh food to the chickens.
Okay.
The organic food that we get from Roots Market, we go into the compost. I don't know if you noticed in the chickens, see how there's two pieces of wood there?
Right.
Okay. When we started, there was one piece of wood there. And so as in time, we just keep adding food and the chickens will eat it and scratch through it. So they actually are creating their own compost pile. If we had enough chickens, how many chickens did you say it would take to
17. There's 17.
To handle everything?
To handle this?
To handle that, probably like 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would take 1,000 chickens to be able to do what we're doing with these piles here. But what will happen is over the year, there'll be more and more boards going up, and then when it gets too high, then we take it out and it's finished compost. So that's one way to do the compost. This is another way, and what we're trying to do is to close the gap in the food system, to make it a closed loop. All of the people who grow food for manna, so those farmers that you were collecting the food from, we will be giving them compost and castings so that they can grow more food for manna. And they're going to be growing, we're making the compost out of the waste of the food that they already brought to manna.
Thank you.
So the idea is that they will get it back.